It's weekly rotation time again, and I have been doing these weekly rotation videos now since May, and today is the 1st of October, and I'm convinced that since I started doing these videos that time has started to move a little bit quicker, or maybe I'm just getting really freaking old. I'm going to start off on Monday. Time traveled back to the 50s, so to speak, with current versions of 50s classics, Eau d'Hermès by Hermès, and then in the afternoon I went with Pour Monsieur by Chanel. This is the EDT version. Just an interesting thing I saw this week, Eau d'Hermès, is that someone posted their brand new bottle of this perfume with the orange label, but it appears to have come with copper-coloured top, which I thought was interesting, but maybe Hermès are just sort of changing things around a little bit. And by the way, Pour Monsieur is quickly becoming probably my favourite sort of summer freshie. I think I like this considerably more than the current version, at least, of Eau Sauvage by Christian Dior. On Tuesday, I went with Timbuktu, and I'm really going to make a conscious effort to sort of finish this before the end of the year, and there'll be plenty of opportunities to wear it. I like wearing this in a little bit of heat. And then I sprayed on some more of this perfume called Methexis by Manos Gerakinis, and I have talked about this perfume before in that it's got this really beautiful combination of like a green unripened fig fruit, not so much the leafy woody aspects of a fig, and blended with this sort of dark, not too sweet cocoa, dusty cocoa. So it's kind of fruity and dry at the same time, and yet even though it by rights you call it a gourmand perfume, there is no saccharine sweetness about it. It's just a really interesting, beautiful development on my skin, and I really have kind of fallen for this perfume. Wednesday, I dedicated to patchouli because I wore some more of my miniature Givenchy Gentleman from 1974. Beautiful kind of sort of, I get quite a lovely booziness from this patchouli accord that comes through here. And then I also wore my decant of L'Instant de Guerlain EDT, and I have to say that the first time I ever wore this perfume, I was wondering what all the fuss was about it, but second time I wore it, it was a lot better. And I don't know what changed. Maybe I just smelled something different in it this time around, but it kind of sort of solidified to me my sort of developed theory that I should mostly never buy any perfume until I've tested it at least a few times. I know I break my own rules sometimes, and I buy a bottle, I don't do it so much anymore off one wearing, but I've had some pretty good luck doing that. But otherwise, I've tested a lot of perfumes where I might have done that first wear, and then by the second, third or fourth, I really ended up loving it, and I bought a bottle. But the opposite as well has happened, where I've loved it first couple of times and then not so much the more I wore it. So it saved me buying a bottle. That's my way of just saying test before you buy. Thursday, safe but always wonderful Boy de Chanel. This is like a kind of spring staple for me now. I can't ever go wrong wearing it. And the other perfume I wore that day, I did a video last week about some of my favorite rose perfumes. And when I wore this on Thursday, I couldn't believe that I'd left it out. And that is Epic Woman by Amouage. It's a beautiful rose, but it's also, I also think about it as an incense perfume. It's spicy. It's terpenic, like there is a real kind of sort of almost bitter pine resin, facet of the incense, the frankincense here, and that pink, gorgeous, light pastel rose that runs all the way through it is just wonderful. It's peppery as well. Friday, I wore Teatro alla Scala by Crizia, and this is kind of the opposite thing that happened with L'Instante Guerlain, in that I really liked the first time I wore this. And the second time, I still liked it, but it wasn't as exciting. And I think I kind of sort of convinced myself that I had a little bit of FOMO the first time I wore this, and in that I know that I really was sort of struggling. I had this inner turmoil about getting a bottle because I could get a bottle, but did I really want a bottle? That was something that I had to figure out. And luckily, I allowed myself the chance to sort of wear this and really wonder how much I enjoyed wearing it. And for now, I'm going to finish the sample, but for now, I'm okay without a bottle of Teatro alla Scala. Then I wore something that never lets me down, that I love, not to everybody's taste, Déclaration by Cartier, Jean-Claude Ellena masterpiece in my opinion. I even got a compliment for Déclaration. Yesterday in the morning, another big favourite of mine, I talk about this enough, Héritage Eau de Toilette. And then, because it got really warm, it ended up being one of the warmest September days here in Melbourne for a while. I wore my favourite fig perfume, Guvano by Gocce de Byron, one that is very difficult to find in most parts of the world, and only because I was in Italy, in Cinque Terre, there was a couple of stores that sold this brand in particular, and this was my favorite by far, and I have a bottle since 2019, and if I want to replace that, I'll probably have to go back to Italy. This morning, last night I actually went to bed with a spray of this on the back of my hand, and this morning I sprayed some more on as my first choice perfume, Sable by Annick Goutal, my reference Immortelle. If no one's familiar with the scent of Immortelle, if you smell this, you'll kind of get the idea, because it showcases it just so brilliantly, along with sort of an ambery accord and other sort of warm spices like cinnamon. It's just a beautiful scent. And to finish off the week and to start off October, I am probably going to just spray the rest of my sample of Musk by Bruno Acampora and be done with it. I think this is pretty nice, but it's not something I'm going to really care too much about if I don't have a bottle. I am overspraying, but I don't care. I'm not choking anyone out. There we go. It's a nice musk perfume. It's got some floral aspects. I just wish it had a little bit more of the dirtier elements of that musk, but quite nice if you like that kind of thing. That's it for me. Weekly rotation week ending 1st of October 2023. I'll see you all soon for another video. I know I didn't film many this week because I did the first couple of podcasts, but I'll get back into some kind of routine. My highlight of the week will have to be Déclaration by Cartier. See you later.